Hi, Dr. Hare. This is Tariana Michaels, and I'm gonna just record my takeaways. I did write everything down. I typed everything up, so bear with me. I'll be reading it. Um, bear with me as well. I'm a little under the weather, but if I cough or something, please forgive me in advance. So hello everyone. Today I'll be sharing my takeaways from the reading on human behavior and social environment, focusing on child development and the role of social work. Specifically, I'll address how developmental stages from prenatal development to early childhood impacts individuals and families, and how social workers can engage, assess, intervene, and evaluate these processes. I'll also be relating these stages of development to the CSWE competencies, which guide social workers' practice and individual families, groups, organizations, and their communities. Um, I'll start with as we all know that the CSWE competencies overview, they focus on engaging, assessing, intervening, and evaluating practices with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. In the context of our readings, these competencies can be connected to understanding the developmental milestones, psychosocial changes, and their implications on the social work practice. So I'm gonna, for chapter one, we have the hereditary prenatal development and birth. The key points that I took away were the hereditary and genetics, where they understand how genetic inheritance influences development, both genetic factors such as inherited conditions and the environmental factors of nutrition, toxins, can impact a prenatal development. The prenatal stages, there are three stages of prenatal development: the germinal, embryonic, and fetal. Each have a unique impacts on a child's future health and development. The pterogens, or their external factors like drugs, alcohol, and infections, can cause birth defects or developmental delays. Birth and infant outcomes, which are the conditions of the birth, such as premature, low birth weight, can affect later development and require early intervention. The CSWE connection that I made with them was competency number 6, engagement, which is understanding prenatal development, and allows social workers to engage with families early on, especially if there are risks due to hereditary or teratogens. Competency, competency number 7, assessment, assessing prenatal health and the risk factors of crucial for identifying early developmental concerns. So for prenatal developmental birth, chapter 9 covers hereditary prenatal development and birth. This chapter emphasizes the significance for both genetic inheritance and environmental factors during pregnancy. Our genes indicate much of our physical and cognitive development, but external factors like mother's nutrition or exposure to toxins also may play important roles. This is especially true when we talk about our teratogen substances or conditions that can harm the fetus, such as alcohol and drugs. As social workers, understanding this stage helps us recognize the impact that prenatal conditions can have on, on future health. Engagement with families before or during pregnancy can help educate and support them in making healthier choices, but better, healthier choices for both themselves and their baby. Additionally, the birth stage is critical. Conditions like prematurely or low birth weight can have long-term can affect long-term development. These It's important to assess the risks early on. Social workers must be able to identify when families might need intervention, either in healthcare or through social support services. Then we have for chapter 12, the psychological, developmental, infancy, and toddlerhood. The key points that I took away was attachment theory of secure attachment in infancy leads to healthier and emotional social development, while insecure attachments can cause developmental challenges. Erickson's trust versus mistrust, where infants need consistent caregiving to develop trust. Failure to provide this consistency can lead to long-term issues in forming relationships. Social and emotional milestones, the development of social interactions, such as cooing, babbling, and their first smiles, is crucial for future social competence. And the keynotes that I correlated with this was competency number 6 of engagement. Um, we have social workers need to engage with parents and caregivers to foster secure attachments and early positive interactions. And competency number 9 of evaluation, evaluating early social and emotional development helps to identify children who may need additional support. And then for I'm here in chapter 12, which discusses the psychosocial, developmental, and infancy and toddlerhood. We see how critical the early years for emotional and social development are. A key concept here is the attachment theory, where infants form emotional bonds with their caregivers, and these bonds have lasting impact on their ability to form relationships later in life. Secure attachments lead to healthy emotional development, while insecure attachments may cause difficulties in relationships and emotional regulation. The development of trust versus mistrust, according to Erickson, is central during infancy. If caregivers provide consistent and responsive care, children will develop a sense of trust. However, if this consistency is lacking, children may develop mistrust, which can have definitely long-term effects on their ability to form secure relationships with individuals. Um, as social workers, engaging with families to foster positive, secure attachment is a key intervention, helping caregivers understand the importance of meeting their infant's needs can significantly improve the child's development. Additionally, we must assess emotional and social behaviors in infants. This can help us identify clearly signs of attachment difficulties or developmental concerns that may require further support. We have now for 13, the physical and developmental development in early childhood. It's going to be the key points are motor skills development. Early childhood is a time for rapid physical growth, including fine, gross motor skills such as walking, running, and using utensils. Health and nutrition, adequate nutrition is crucial for physical development. Poor nutrition can lead to developmental delays or physical health issues. Sleep and rest, sleep patterns are integral to physical cognitive development. Inadequate sleep can lead to emotional dysregulation and cognitive issues. The CSWE connection I put with them is going to be competency number 7, the assessment, assessing physical milestones in early childhood, such as motor skills, sleep patterns, help social workers identify and any developmental delays or health concerns that may impact a child's well-being. Competency number 8, intervention, intervening to improve nutritional sleep and physical activities can prevent long-term health problems and, excuse me, and developmental delays. In physical development, early childhood, chapter 13, we delve into the physical development in early childhood, where this period is marked with rapid growth, especially in their motor skills. Children start walking, running, and developing fine motor skills like using utensils. Nutrition plays a significant role in the physical development, and with poor nutrition can lead to delays or health problems. Social workers need to assess physical milestones and intervene if a child is not meeting them. For instance, if a child is not hitting basic milestones like walking or fine motor skills, it could indicate a developmental delay that requires specialized services. Sleep is another critical factor during early childhood. Lack of sleep can affect a child's mood, cognitive ability, and physical health. As social workers, part of our role is to educate families on healthy sleep habits and ensure children's well being in this area. In chapter 14, cognitive development in early childhood, the key points was I always say his name wrong. I think it's Piaget's uh, pre-operational stage. Children in early childhood are in the pre-operational stage where they develop symbolic thinking but struggle with logical reasoning, ecocentrum, and conversational tasks. Language development, language acquisition is a key milestone during early childhood. Social workers to recognize the importance of language in cognitive and social development. And then there's also cognitive delays, early identification of cognitive delays or disorders such as autism spectrum disorder is critical for early intervention. And the two competencies that I connected with was number 8, which for the intervention, it says interventions such as speech therapy or cognitive development programs can support children who show signs of development delays. And number 9, for evaluation, we have evaluating cognitive development can help social workers identify children who may benefit from additional support or specialized services. So in chapter 14, we focus on the cognitive development during early childhood. This period is marked as guidance, pre-operational stage, where children start to develop symbolic thinking but struggle with their logic. For example, they may have difficulty understanding that quantities remain the same despite changes in the appearance, like understanding that a tall glass of water is the same amount as a wide one. And the language development is also a crucial milestone in early childhood. The ability to communicate shapes not only cognitive skills, but also social interactions. Social workers, we should recognize the significance of language development and identify potential delays or disorders such as speech delays or autism spectrum disorder early on. By intervening with early language supports, specialized therapies, we can help children overcome cognitive and language delays. The goal is to ensure that they reach their developmental milestones that will support their academic and social success later on in life. Then we have in chapter 15, the psychosocial development in early childhood. Key points that we took away was autonomy versus shame/doubt. According to Erickson, children in this stage seek independence and autonomy. Parents and caregivers play crucial roles in their fostering confidence or creating shame and doubt. Social play and peer relationships. Children begin to engage in social play with this, which is crucial for developing interpersonal skills and emotional regulation. Gender identity and social roles. Early childhood is when children start forming gender identity and learn societal roles based on their environment and cultural expectations. And the CSWE connection that I made with them was competency number 6, for engagement, engaging with caregivers and families to promote healthy socialization and autonomy helps foster positive development. And competency number 7 in the assessment, assessing how children navigate social and emotional challenges, such as peer relationships, gender identity, can help identify needs for support or intervention. And then that was for number 15. As we read chapter 15, we dove into the psychosocial development in early childhood, which is all about child's ability to develop their independence and engage in society and socially. According to Erickson's theory, the challenge for toddlers is autonomy versus shame and doubt. In this stage, children are learning to do things for themselves, like dressing or feeding. If caregivers encourage autonomy, children develop confidence. If they are criticized for overly restricted, they may feel doubt in their own abilities. Additionally, social play becomes crucial as children begin to interact with their peers. Early friendships and social interactions help children learn about cooperation, sharing, and empathy. As social workers, is vital to support families in fostering these early social skills. We have here, and this is also when children begin to form ideas about gender roles and social norms. Observing, understanding these behaviors help social workers guide families in providing a healthy, open environment for their children to explore their identity. As we assess social and emotional behaviors, we can identify any struggles children face, such as difficulty with peers, relationships, or lack of confidence. Intervention strategies might include supporting parents in creating a nurturing environment that encourages independence and positive social engagement. In conclusion, child development is a complex and dynamic process that involves physical, cognitive, and social growth. As social workers, we play an essential role in engaging with families, assessing developmental milestones, intervening when needed, and evaluating practices to ensure that children receive and support and are being feel supported as needed to thrive. By understanding these developmental stages from prenatal care to early childhood, social workers can provide vital assistance, helping families navigate challenges, and promoting healthy development for the children in their care. It's about being proactive and supportive, ensuring that every child gets the best start in their life. So that, thank you. And